Hey, I'm Jocelyn, and this is how to season a carbon steel pan. Carbon steel is absolutely my favorite thing to cook in. Julia Child loved it, and I figure if something's good enough for her, it's certainly good enough for my kitchen. So this pan is just a fry pan. I got this from Blanc Creative. They're a small company in, I believe, Charlottesville, Virginia. Anyway, these are handmade, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. When you get them, they're sort of this bluish green color. And they're not seasoned. So when you get it, the first thing you're gonna do is wash it with soap and water. This will be about the only time you wash a carbon steel pan with soap and water. So I have washed this with soap and water, just rinsed it off. And like I said, generally speaking, you're not really gonna use soap anymore after this time. So I'm just gonna wipe it out. And then I'm gonna throw it on the stove and make sure that all of that water has evaporated. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this on and let the rest of that water on there evaporate really nicely. This is my other Blanc Creative carbon steel pan, and you can see the difference. Greenish blue, and this is nice and black. So this is how it comes. We're gonna just take a little bit of vegetable oil. You can use flaxseed oil. I wouldn't use olive oil. One, because it's gonna add flavor and things. You want a really neutral oil. And I think the smoke point on olive oil is probably not the best for this either. So all I'm gonna do is take a couple, I keep this here all the time. I'm just gonna take a couple droppers full of vegetable oil. And we're gonna rub that all over the entire inside of the pan. The outside doesn't really matter. This is the part that needs to be nonstick. I don't really care if the handle's nonstick. So that's it. It's got a really nice, very, very thin coat, and I've got it on medium-high heat. And I'm just gonna let this cook like this for quite a while. It can get pretty smoky, so you might wanna have window open or turn your vent on or something. But we're gonna see really quickly, actually, the color's gonna start to change to sort of an amber color. So we're just gonna let that happen, and we're gonna check on it every couple minutes. So every few minutes I'm gonna come back. Don't leave the pan, but every few minutes you're just gonna come back and kind of move that oil around, and you'll see as it cooks that it might kind of move a little bit, like you'll see it kind of beat up a little. So just watch it and wipe through it a few times. This is gonna take about 15, maybe even 20, 25 minutes. So you can see this is smoking just a little bit. Well, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's definitely starting to smoke. I've got my vent on because that'll get pretty stinky. I'm just going by and wiping it every now and then to move that around. I'm not really taking any off, and I'm not really adding any to it. I'm just kind of smoothing it out. And I can see a little bit of that amber color starting to come up, and we've been doing this for about 4 minutes now. So that color is really starting to come in, especially on the bottom. We're gonna keep waiting. Okay, so we're at 10 minutes now, and we're definitely starting to see some of that color come into this, but you can see that, and then you can see my one that is well seasoned. We got quite a ways to go. So I'm just gonna sit and continue to wipe this down now and then and let it cook. So be careful when you're wiping it down. I just got my finger on this. I don't know if you can see that, but it literally singed my finger white at the end. That can't be good. Okay, so if you look at this, you can maybe see that it's getting browner, and we've got some of the oils kind of beating up on that edge. So that's when we're gonna wipe it down again, just like this. And listen, if it's not smoking, that means you don't have enough oil in there. And I have, with this pan, I actually did the same exact process, but I found that I didn't use enough oil at the beginning. It's okay to add a little bit of oil as you go if you see that it's not really kind of cooking anymore, and you need a little bit more to create that like polymer sort of thing. So I'm going to just show you. I don't really need any more in this pan, but it's not going to hurt for me to add a little bit. But you have to be super careful because this is insanely hot. Like your arms will be hot, but put that in there, and you can add a little bit more if you absolutely have to. So we're just going to let this cook, and we're going to continue to go on. I have to shout over the vent because I have to have the vent on high right now because it's really loud. But this is really starting to cook up. You can see the color has changed quite a lot. And every time I wipe it, we get more smoke. So keep that vent on, but look at how it's getting nice, and it's getting nice and brown, and then soon it will be nice and black. Okay, so we're pretty much done. This has taken an hour. It's not going to be as black as my old pan because this has been used a lot. And every time you use a carbon steel pan, just like cast iron, you're re-seasoning every time. You wash it with no soap. You just get the food off with water, and then you put it on your stovetop, and you kind of let that evaporate. And then you cook a little bit of oil into it every time, and that'll start the process, even, just kind of add to the process that happens when you're cooking anyway. So it's been almost an hour of this. I burned the lid out of my thumb. I'm probably not supposed to say that, but it's true. I have my thumb in my burn flour because it takes the paint out a little. Anyway, so this is a carbon steel pan. It's amazing. The process is actually really easy for seasoning. It just kind of stinks. Like it takes a while. It's not a lot of fun, but it's pretty easy. Cast iron, I usually season in my oven, and that's a whole different process. I actually have a video on that, and that's less likely to burn you than this. So maybe I should look into that for carbon steel. But now that I have this big roaster and this frying pan, I don't think I'm gonna need any more carbon steel pans, and I'm really pleased with the ones I've got from Blunt Creative. So anyway, that's it. Don't burn yourself, and I hope you enjoy your pans. Bye.